Welcome back to Base Sunday. Have you seen all the cranes in San Francisco? The city is growing at a freight train pace and becoming the destination for anyone traveling west. There's just so much to see from our beautiful geography and the Golden Gate, wine country, just a stone's throw away. So let's talk tourism now. Our political insider, Melissa Griffin-Cain, sat down with the man that heads up San Francisco's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Mr. Joe D'Alessandro.
Good morning, Joe. Thanks so much for being here today.
Pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I had to invite you. You have the best job in the world, in my estimation. Tell our viewers what it is that you do.
So we're responsible for promoting San Francisco for tourism around the world, for conventions, for meetings, for events, and making sure that people come to San Francisco, spend their money, help our economy, employ San Franciscans, and really enjoy the beauty and the benefits of Northern California.
Well, you let me know next time you're hiring over there. So in that regard, you have been involved very closely with the Super Bowl bid.
Absolutely.
And with the preparations for the Super Bowl here in the Bay Area. Tell us about how that's going.
It's going very well. There's a lot of work to do. We have less than a year to go before it's held here, and people from around the country, around the world are going to be looking at San Francisco and the Bay Area during the Super Bowl. There's going to be activities from Santa Clara to San Francisco to the East Bay, all over the Bay Area to celebrate, to participate, to get involved and be excited by the enthusiasm what the Super Bowl brings to us.
Now, how many people are you expecting?
You know, there could be 1 million people coming in to participate in a lot of the activities. They're free, they're open to the public, a lot of them. You can buy tickets to go to the NFL experience at the Moscone Center. There's a parade in Santa Clara. There's all sorts of activities that are really there for the public to enjoy. The game is one small piece of it, but what we're really doing is creating a whole series of events that the public can enjoy leading up to the Super Bowl. And kind of the legacy that the Super Bowl will leave behind in the Bay Area is another big part of it.
Now, what is that legacy?
So 25% of all the dollars raised for the Super Bowl are going to charities throughout the Bay Area. What we want to make sure that this is the most charitable Super Bowl ever, that the legacy, with the long gifts that are left long after the Super Bowl is over, really benefit people throughout the Bay Area, young people, all sorts of activities that will really be something that people can be proud of. The Super Bowl was an exciting thing, but the legacy left behind is even more important.
Now, where's all this money coming from for both the Super Bowl activities and this charitable giving?
It's all being raised by the private sector, companies, corporations, individuals. We have a big job to do. We're almost halfway to the funds that we have to raise, but we've got more to do. But it's really the corporations located throughout the Bay Area and nationally that are helping us put this on.
Excellent. Well, good luck with that. We're all very excited.
It'll be very fun.
I'm sure people will be hitting you up for tickets yesterday. So moving on to other big events. Now, recently we were eliminated from the list of American cities to be sort of part of the U.S. bid for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Now, Boston, of course, won that competition. Why do you think San Francisco didn't?
You know, it's really hard to say. We don't know the votes that were taken in the room. We don't know what decisions that they made or what made them decide on Boston. You know, one of the challenges we may have is we didn't have a stadium in place yet for the opening and closing ceremonies, and we had talked about the preparation of a stadium, maybe a temporary stadium. Maybe that hurt us a little bit, but really, honestly, you don't know the politics of the decision in the room. I mean, there might be people on the U.S. Olympic Committee that were very favorable of Boston and had a leaning that way from the very beginning. It's unfortunate. It's the third time we bid on it and did not receive it, but it's still not a done deal for the U.S. If the U.S. gets the bid, it will be Boston, but there's other cities around the world that are also bidding on it for 2024.
So big ones, right? Rome and you said maybe Tokyo?
Paris, and we think maybe Tokyo. So there's a lot of cities that are looking for it too.
Are we going to be trying again maybe in the future?
Who knows? If the U.S. gets it...
Keep that PowerPoint ready.
Exactly. PowerPoint won't be the technology next time the bid comes around. If the U.S. gets it in 2024, it probably won't come back to the U.S. for a number of years. If it doesn't get it in 2024, then we'll probably be bidding again in 4 years.
I just have to ask, a temporary stadium, I'm not sure I like the sound of that in terms of going and sitting in the temporary stands.
Well, you know, London did it really well. London didn't spend a lot of dollars making all sorts of this physical improvements like they did in Sochi in Russia. So some of the activities and venues were temporary, and they went away afterwards. So it didn't have the cost of the infrastructure costs that some other cities had putting on the Olympics. That's why they were so successful there.
Oh, wow. Excellent. And last, before we go, I want to touch on an issue that a number of people have commented on. There's an article today in the Chronicle about it. as the person who's the liaison, the spokesman for San Francisco and other places and to tourists, what's going on with the homelessness issue? It's clearly one that has jumped in importance in the city. We've seen the disbursement of some of the homeless population from the mid-market area to other places where it hadn't been before. What's your office hearing about this? What do you think that the mayor should do about this?
Well, you know, it's very difficult. There obviously is a problem, and it's really twofold. There's a homeless problem in San Francisco that we have to kind of find solutions, housing solutions for them. But there's also another problem, and that's the one that we're more concerned about, and that's the bad street behavior. And it's really the bad street behavior, and there's not necessarily homeless people that cause the bad street behavior, but from aggressive panhandling to drugs to whatever makes the streets not feel safe and secure in San Francisco. That's the biggest complaint we get. It's not only a complaint among residents, but it's the #1 complaint we can get from visitors coming to San Francisco. They say you're like the wealthiest city and the wealthiest state and the wealthiest country in the world, but your streets are not. Don't show that. And although visitors love San Francisco, 97% want to come back, their #1 complaint is the street situation. And frankly, in some areas, it is getting worse. We're looking forward to the San Francisco Police Department increasing their street presence. That makes a big deal. When they did it around Union Square around the holidays, it made a big difference on the street. They're graduating more police officers through the academies, and hopefully in the next few years, we'll see more police on the street that can enforce some of the laws that are already in place to stop some of this bad street behavior that we're seeing.
Excellent. Well, thanks again so much for being here.
Melissa.
For Bay Sunday, I'm Melissa Griffin-Kane.
All right, Melissa, thanks for that. More Bay Sunday right after the break. A great nonfiction novel you're going to love. It's a story. It's coming up next. Stay there.